welcome to another Three Dudes in a Basement. I'm Mickey.
I'm Brandon.
And Brody can't be with us this week, but I guess we'll have to do a two-man show. But all is good.
Two-man in a basement.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the True Detective Season 2, Episode 2 review.
Damn!
Okay, first we're going to start off with non-spoiler review, and then we'll go for spoilers.
Yeah, well, I'll scream spoilers when we get to that part.
Okay, so 100% better, in my opinion, than the first episode. That was phenomenal. Oh my god. The opening scene alone, just made the entire episode. I got chills. Like, when I looked at Brandon, I'm like, look at this. Oh, what do you think, Brandon?
I agree. I kind of want to redo my review for the last episode because it made me realize I still like the last episode a lot, but this episode was 100 times better.
Oh yeah, a lot more characters got more development, as I was explaining to you, and I'll explain a little bit more for spoilers. 100% better. This actually starting to feel like True Detective amazing.
Yeah, it's starting to get dark.
Oh my god, it's too dark sometimes, but it works.
Yeah. Because, the first episode, you kind of seen, you didn't see why Colin Farrell is dark, but it showed that his character's dark. And then you kind of got an insight into why Rachel McAdams' character is going to be dark. You didn't see that she's dark, but you have a feeling it's going to be that way because of her past.
You know what? I think it's time for spoilers. So, spoilers, skip a little bit ahead if you want. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll add some times just so it's easier for you guys.
Yeah.
But you could start explaining full spoilers.
We already talked about in the last one, Colin Farrell, the scene where he beats the shit out of the kid's dad. Yeah. That's what makes his character dark. As far as Rachel McAdams, her sister is kind of like a webcam prostitute. I don't know. They call them webcam models, but I have a feeling
porn star.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's does prostitution and other stuff too. That's kind of what they insinuated, and she's like, no, I'm just a porn star.
There's a really weird scene where she's going through papers, and there's a guy named Casper. They're trying to find out. He's going to be the main thing they're investigating.
Yeah, and what brings them all together.
And then she's drinking liquor, obviously, and she's on the internet, and she just stumbled. I don't think she stumbled upon.
It showed 3 or 4 sites.
She was legitimately looking for her sister, and she found a porno with her sister in it, and it was just really eerie, and it's weird to think about.
And then she got a call from her partner, and then she put the phone down, and then started watching it again.
Yeah.
Started continuing it, and it was just
she wasn't reacting to it either. Which
no, it was she had no emotion, nothing on her face, and
it was really freaking weird.
Yeah.
Beginning, as I said, the non-spoiler part, at the beginning, Vince Vaughn character explains how abusive his father was to him, and I just got freaking chills.
Yeah, that was one of the best scenes Vince Vaughn has ever acted in.
Oh my god, I didn't know the man had that much talent. He talks about how his father locked him down in the basement. It's hard for me to talk about it because it's really freaking dark.
Yeah, and he
he kept saying, he kept adding days and...
Yeah, and the tear.
You know what? At the beginning, I was going to say something. I was like, it's a really weird way to shoot that. Because he's sitting in his bed. Whereas the camera's over his head. I was like, I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have done it with him standing up. And as the story kept progressing, I was like, it makes a lot of sense the way they did it. It just really, it's a different way of looking at it. And the way his wife was reacting too is almost like the audience reacting to his story. It'd be like, what the hell?
And it shows you how much it affected him, because some other people, it's kind of like a story you would tell your wife as you start to get into the process of her becoming a wife, kind of something you reveal to your significant other when you're getting close to asking her to marry, but they've been married for a while and he still hasn't told her that. So it's a huge part of his life. Dark.
And then we get Taylor Kitsch's story finally.
Yeah, that was a lot of surprises from his story.
He's a really good actor. He had 2 specific good scenes. He had the scene with his mom. We finally get to know about his mom and learn about his
mom
past.
is just
his mom is weird.
Yeah, it was it was she was a really affectionate mother, but it was kind of almost.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is she a prostitute or something?
She just looks like it.
She comes off as that.
I don't know.
She lives in a trailer park or something like that.
She came across as that, but it was right on the borderline of affectionate and incestuous.
Base Motel. As soon as I saw that, I was got a Base Motel vibe. It was really weird for me. Especially when she was talking about the past girls, which is really cool because it was a foreshadowing to what happened in the next scene where I thought it was awesome. where he's talking to his girlfriend, and they kind of have a fight.
Yeah,
because she's on the internet and she goes on TMZ, and apparently he's had something with some famous chick.
It was you know when at the first episode when he pulled that girl over. That's what it was.
Oh, the thing he was in trouble for. The blowjob.
Yeah.
She offered him a blowjob and he said no. I don't know why that would be on TMZ. It's usually about famous people.
She was famous. She was an actress.
Oh, okay.
That's why she did it.
That makes sense. I thought she was like a singer or something.
No, yeah. But yeah, and then and then he got into the fight with his girlfriend, which was really good. I liked how he said it twice when he was like, "This is you. This isn't me. This is you doing this." Because it's it shows you what is going through his head and his coping mechanisms.
You could tell. The thing I didn't like about the first episode was everyone's they all the same personalities. They're dark and they had a dark past. This one's you could start you start to realize that they all have different characteristics. They're not all the same. Vince Vaughn is he's been through some stuff, but he has to carry himself in a certain way because he's doing all these drug deals and all these deals and stuff.
He's bad, but he's trying to be good, but the only way he can do that is by being bad.
And then Colin Farrell, he plays that cop that's what is it called? Compromised.
Yeah.
And he has anger problems.
Oh, yeah.
He has crazy anger. He's the angriest out of everyone, obviously. Because he doesn't know if the kid is his, because his wife got raped. He's in denial when his wife told him that she's going to get a paternity test, because the kid's a ginge. Let's be honest. It's not
both of them have brown hair, and the kid's a fat ginge.
And then Taylor...
Also, wait, one sec. Also found out that he killed the guy
that raped his wife. Another twist too.
Yeah, because they made it sound in the first episode like the guy got away.
They finally told you why Vince Vaughn's character is working with Colin Farrell's character. Yeah. It turns out that Vince Vaughn's the guy that raped his Colin Farrell's ex-wife now, worked for Vince Vaughn. Mm-hmm. He killed him, and now instead of
Vince Vaughn killing Colin Farrell.
Not even that. Instead of Vince Vaughn telling the police that he murdered that person, he just let it go. He's like, listen here, you're good at what you do. You're a detective. Work for me. I'll give you a little more money. We'll work with each other, and then all that stuff can go away.
Yep. And then Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah. Taylor Kitsch's character, he's been through some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But you could tell, the reason I like this episode, he has a little bit of personality that I do. I've been through some stuff, and it's the way he carries himself, I really felt I could relate to him.
Connection.
Yeah, I could relate to him more, just the way he carried himself. The way he pushes back stuff, I do that stuff. Yeah. I'm like, wow. It's it's really neat. And then Rachel McAdams' character, she's kind of growing a little more affectionate to Colin Farrell, as you can tell. Mm-hmm. He wants to get laid, the way that one car scene.
Yeah, he was checking her out up and down.
What's that one joke he said?
Can't remember, but yeah, he wants her.
It's a funnier episode too.
Yeah,
which I'm kind of digging.
One thing that I know, I could be wrong, I could be right, that you won't have the connection with Taylor Kitsch is I think they're hinting that he is in the closet, because
that one scene we're talking about near the end.
Yeah, well, there was a scene. I don't think it didn't make sense. I
don't think he's gay. I think he's bisexual. Yeah, but he's never explored that part of himself.
Yeah, because that one scene where he was talking about he was investigating when he was talking to the cop and he was sitting there and he's like, and the one fag was trying to hit on me and I almost punched him out, and the cop's like, okay, why would you punch him out because he was hitting on you? Just ignore it, man. Doesn't matter. And then they show him looking at the people coming from the gay pride parade, and he was staring at the one gay guy, and it was just the
guy with the shirt off.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. Overall, amazing episode. This one's a 10 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I want to change my last score to an 8. Yeah, for the first one. This one's a 10 out of 10. But
I want to take back my score from last. I don't know what I said for the last one.
I think you said 6.5.
Okay, I'll give it an 8 because I rewatched it, and it's I kind of missed some things. Yeah, it makes a little more sense on this episode, but this one's definitely 10.
Before we ended, do you want to talk about that last scene?
Oh my god, this is total spoilers. I don't know why you're still listening if you haven't seen the episode, but Colin Farrell is asked to... Vince Vaughn has interviewed a couple people. He's been to this club that he knows from this guy, and he talked to this girl, and apparently there's something wrong, something's going on in this house, and he told him to investigate it.
Yeah, the guy who died brought prostitutes to the house.
Yeah. And he goes into this house. Obviously, someone knows about it. Vince Vaughn, I guarantee Vince Vaughn knows something about this. Yeah. He hired this guy or something. And then he gets shot, which is like the biggest thing ever. You see like a shadow in the background as he's going near the blood and exploring this room.
I thought he was gonna get like hit in the head or like
just
knocked
clunked
out.
And like get tied to a chair or something. Yeah. No, this writer doesn't care for characters. He just likes killing people. One shot, he's on the ground.
That I thought, I was like, holy crap! But I was like, oh, I
thought
he can still. He's
end
okay.
of episode. Yeah. No,
the
guy with the mask goes on top of him, shoots him again. We don't know what happens. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully
2 shotgun shots to the chest. That's
if he dies, I'm gonna be pissed off because he's one of my favorite characters and he's really developing into his character right now. I did not see that coming. I thought he was getting clunked on the head.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Obviously, like even if he's dead, they're gonna do flashbacks and stuff. Like this is not. They're not gonna.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're all in for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So even if he is dead, they're gonna have something alluding to something else. They're probably gonna have flashback scenes with Vince Vaughn's character, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, amazing episode.
If he is dead, I want to see some type of development with his son.
I agree. Or it's like why he's like that.
Yeah, and like I just want to see how his son reacts because it feels like his son really wants to like love his dad.
It's tough love.
And
it's like because it's like he's kind of drawn back because he doesn't know if it's his kid. Probably not his kid. So that's why he's kind of like. He's just drawn back.
And it feels like the kid is very, he's unconfident, obviously. He has issues, and it just feels like, Vince Vaughn. Colin Farrell's character is the parent he needs, but his mom and his stepdad are the parent that he relies on because they're the type of parent that tell him what to do and he just does it. And
you could tell it's hard for him to take advice from his dad because of the way he is. And it's like he can't say no, but he doesn't know how to react because he's a really awkward kid.
Yeah.
So his dad's telling him to do all that stuff, but he's like, he can't. He has no confidence. Yeah. And he gets bullied all the time.
Yeah, and I've only seen the only one part where I thought Colin Farrell was being a bad dad was when he called him you fat piece of shit or whatever he said.
That was a dick move.
It was just he was getting so upset and he just went too far. But other than that,
even if I was a dad and my kid was going through that stuff, I would never say.
Oh yeah,
even if I was really mad.
Yeah, definitely not. But other than that, like all the stuff like beating the shit out of that kid's dad and just like it's not right, obviously, but it's not him being a bad dad.
It's just him being really protective of his son and trying to teach him a lesson and like it's not right to like teach your kid to be physical with bullies and stuff, but it's like sometimes you have no choice.
Yeah, and it was also kind of like because he's kind of struggling between seeing his kid and the court battle, so it was kind of like I'm here for you. Yeah, make sure they know
it'd be tough. He'd be even more broken if he couldn't see his son anymore because he's already going through some stuff. He knows that the stuff behind the scenes most likely has something to do with him. And then he has that thing going on with his ex-wife and maybe taking custody over his son. It's really tough, man.
Yeah. And that, I was just thinking as we're talking about this is such crazy story development, character development. It's only been 2 hours.
Oh my god. Like, it's like this writer, I don't know why Hollywood people aren't looking at him right now writing for movies. I'm getting chills talking about it. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm getting freaking chills. Like, this writer is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how he does it. Even when the last episode wasn't, like, that good for me, I think it was more directing-wise. The writing was, like, amazing.
Yeah.
This writer is phenomenal. Like, I think he's the best TV writer I've ever,
100%.
Like, witnessed.
Like, for me, it was like the last season was amazing, blah, blah, blah. It was just like, I kind of like Breaking Bad better than True Detective, but now I'm starting to like True Detective better than Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad has its moments,
TV show ever.
Yeah. But, yeah, those are our thoughts for the second episode of the second season.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. What do you think? 10 out of 10. Phenomenal episode. If you haven't seen the second season, go for the first season. I'd suggest it. Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, amazing actors. Definitely go check that out, and then go to the season. I know it's like they're doing like a different thing every season, like American Horror Story.
You don't have to.
Definitely see it to get the feel of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's all we have to say for that. We're gonna go to summer movies.
Yeah.
What do we got coming up? We got Ted 2. Me and Brandon are going to see on Tuesday. Excited for that. I love the first one.
Yeah, I'm starting to see, like, with them being on, like, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel and stuff, I'm starting to actually see, because the first movie, you don't see what the movie's actually about and how it's going to be until you actually see it. And I'm starting to see that more from what they're showing. A lot of
chemistry.
Yeah, and it's like, it's definitely, I feel like it's just going to be, it's probably not going to be as good as the first one, but it's,
you know what?
really
with comedy sequels, it's really hard to top what you did before. Mm-hmm. That's why I think a lot of people hate on Anchorman. Yeah. Then again, that was a lot of years after, but it doesn't matter. It's like there's a lot of stigma, or they're going to repeat the same thing. Yeah. That's why I think, like, for instance, 22 Jump Street benefited being a sequel because it kind of poked fun at itself and fun at sequels. Yeah. It's really tough to recreate the same thing. I think people really expect too much from the second thing.
Yeah, I'm just going in hoping I laugh a lot.
You know what? Like, comedies are tough.
Yep, because everyone,
especially coming from a comedian like background, like Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy.
Yeah,
it's really tough doing his first thing, and then coming off of 100 Ways to, or
A Million Ways to Die,
Ways to Die in the West. Not so well critic wise, box office wise, whatever.
Yeah. I enjoyed that movie.
I laughed a couple of times. I understood what it was because it was Family Guy.
Yeah, like sorry. No, I was just I hate how people are like, it would have been a good movie if Seth MacFarlane would have stepped back, and I felt like he was one of the best parts of the movie.
It just didn't fit for, like, you can't, it's tough to do a comedy that's set in the times when it was like cowboys and stuff like that. But for what it's worth, I think it's going to be good. I don't expect like
Ted.
Ted
was just amazing.
Ted was Ted. It's hard to comprehend that there was a teddy bear smoking weed and doing all this stuff.
It was the highest grossing R-rated comedy of all time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they talked about that on Jimmy Fallon.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, even that's tough to withhold these days. Like, we had a lot of people spend their money on Jurassic World, Age of Ultron. Like, not everyone could go in the movies all the time like me and you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's like those types of movies, those are movies people are just like, well, we gotta go see this one in theaters. Ted 2,
we're huge Seth MacFarlane fans. Yeah. Like, I think when we became friends, like, one of the first things we talked about was Family Guy. So, like, pretty much anything this dude does. Yeah. I have to see it. Like, especially, like, he's into directing now. Like, that's amazing to me.
And just, like, when he was promoting this on Jimmy Fallon, he was just so funny, the whole thing. And
he's one of the funniest dudes I've ever, like,
they were talking with, who are they talking with? Who's the hot girl that's dating Johnny Depp? She's in Magic Mike XXL.
I know what you're talking about. Amber Heard.
Yeah. She came on, and for some reason, like, you know, the first guest usually leaves. Seth MacFarlane decided to just chill there. Yeah. He was just chilling on the other couch.
Yeah, you have a choice if you're not doing anything.
Yeah. And they were talking about tattoos and stuff because she was on the cover of this, and you could see, like, some of her, like, rib tattoos and stuff.
Oh, she's like some tattoo magazine or something?
No, she was just on a magazine cover, but they were talking about her tattoos because it was like, it wasn't just like a picture, it was like quotes and stuff, and they were talking about like what it meant to her and stuff. And they're like, Seth, do you have any tattoos? And he's like, oh yeah, I have the Battle of World War II tattooed on my upper thigh. And I was just like, what? Like, it was just so quick. Like, he did it so fast.
He's fast, man. It's comedy.
I think he's a brilliant comedian.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday
we got
Magic Mike XXL. It does come out, but
by the way, Brandon's seeing that by himself
in a trench coat.
He's gonna sit in the back and just do filthy stuff,
play in mud. No, I'm not seeing that movie.
No, we're seeing what James Cameron calls the true sequel to his series of Terminators, Terminator Genesis, which I have really high hopes for after hearing that. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Brandon? I'm so excited to see this.
Like, when you said that, I was already excited for this movie. You even know, like, when you had your doubts, I'm like, no, come on, it's gonna be good. I
had my doubts until he said that. Yeah. I love James Cameron as a director. He's really amazing.
And then once again, Jimmy Fallon. Like, I'm a devoted Jimmy Fallon. I don't miss an episode.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Arnold was on, and they showed a scene from the movie, and I was blown away. They recreated the scene from the first Terminator.
Beginning.
Where he comes in with no clothes. Yeah. And he talks to the three, like,
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, and he's just like, give me your clothes. And, like, the regular movie, they're like, what the hell? And he, like, beats the shell and takes her clothes. But when he says that, Arnold is like, you won't need them. And he has a shotgun and starts shooting them. And then they, like, meet in the middle. And then the scene ended because they can't show that much on Jimmy Fallon. But I was just like, oh my god, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, just the way they recreated that and just the Arnold fighting Arnold.
I'm excited because at first, like, you know, me and you talked about this. I had my doubts because I was like...
they showed a lot in the trailer.
I was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger come back. It's like, because, like...
Yeah, at first it was like he should have just been a cameo.
If you guys didn't hear about this, they were going to reboot the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who distributes it. Universal?
I have no idea.
Whoever owns the rights. They were going to reboot it with The Rock. Everyone was down. The Rock is
it's The Rock
everywhere like these days. Like, you could obviously, if he was announced to be a Terminator, people wouldn't even care. Really.
Yeah,
this guy is obviously a Terminator, right? Yeah. He already has the physique of a bodybuilder. Anyways, Arnold Schwarzenegger was going through this like weird resurgence with all these action movies, and The Rock wasn't doing so well as this movie was being developed. As we've seen, he's done like some straight to video movies and whatever.
Yeah, like the only good.
Just recently, he's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, with like the one with Mark Wahlberg and the guy who plays Falcon.
Yeah,
Painting Game.
Yeah, it was okay. Like
I really liked it.
It didn't
movie.
get like really a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Traction, is that a word?
Traction. Yeah.
And then they're like, Arnie, The Rock, he's kind of doing really good right now with his resurgence of his thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, I heard about what they were doing and I saw the first teaser. I'm like, oh boy. Why is this happening? Why is the T-1000 Asian? Why are they recreating the scene? Why is this? I was like, oh man. And then the real trailer came in. It was like, why would you give away that big plot point of having John Connor, a Terminator? I was freaking out. I talked to Brad about it. I was like, they pull a Terminator Salvation. But then I started watching the interviews because I was really curious because I love Emilia Clarke. I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones. I just caught up because I want to be on the bandwagon.
I think even people that were doubtful of Terminator there's no doubt about Emilia Clarke.
She's a really strong actress, and I think she's a perfect choice.
Yeah,
and for Lara Croft as well. Said that here first. And after I seen that trailer, I was like, I don't know, what was I saying? I lost my thought. Oh, interviews. I was talking about interviews. I was talking about interviews, and then watching the interviews and stuff, and how they were talking about that. Like they're like, I don't know why people are complaining. That's the entire first act. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's crazy.
If that's the entire first act, I can't wait for the rest of the movie. Like, that's crazy, man. And then all the chemistry, like, they had a lot of chemistry in the interviews and stuff. I was like, okay, I'm really freaking excited.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of clips, and then after the James Cameron quote, I'm like, I'm in. I'm freaking sold.
On Wednesday, along with our review of this, we're going to be doing movies that shaped our childhood.
Along with our good friend Connor Smiley, he'll be on the show as well.
Yeah, shout out to Connor. Hopefully Brody will be there for that one.
Yeah, even if not, it's still three guys in the basement.
Yeah, and he might come after. Like, he might not go to the movie, and we can just talk about that. But spoiler: Terminator's one of the movie series that shaped my childhood. As weird as that sounds. I agree, man.
The first two, I think Terminator 2 is one of the best action movies of all time.
Yep. 100%, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, what do we have next? We got
Ant-Man. Is that the next one?
Ant-Man. Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
To all the haters out there, I hate all of you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why people don't trust Marvel's formula anymore. The reason they keep winning the box office is because they're not afraid. Like, why am I stuttering? They are not afraid to like test the waters in different genres. Mm-hmm. I'm getting chills right now because how mad I am. I'm getting chills a lot. It's probably because I have my sleeves rolled up, whatever. But
it's just really cool.
People are scared because it was a comedy that it wasn't going to be good or live up to the expectation Marvel has. Screw you guys, because this is probably going to be one of Marvel's best movies.
And it doesn't really make any sense because Marvel's movies always have a good amount of comedy in them anyway.
Even if they're bad, they're still good.
Yeah.
Like, it's Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
If you don't know Paul Rudd, like, this man's been doing comedy like almost in his entire career. Like, this man, he helped write the script. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he did.
He knows what sticks.
Yep.
Like, some of the slapstick comedy is, like, amazing that he writes. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Michael Pena, like, steals a lot of this movie, too. Which
he's amazing.
He's a good actor regardless.
Yeah,
but,
and
like, him in comedy role
too. Yeah.
is, like, It's perfect.
Yep.
I can't wait for this, man. Like, I'm so excited. Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, Corey Stoll. If you haven't seen Boardwalk, what is it? Not Boardwalk Empire. House of Cards. He's amazing in that. Paul Rudd, obviously leading man.
It just and isn't it hasn't them the camera.
Words
out of my mouth. But hasn't it been getting actually good reviews and people are surprised? That's what I've heard.
This is what they're allowed to say. There was a press screening, like, if I'm not mistaken, last week.
Yeah.
Not last week. It was a couple days ago. It was like Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
And because of they have to sign a contract when they're done watching the movie, they're not allowed to say how they felt, like a review, but they could say how they felt, like good or like negative.
Yeah.
Everyone I've seen that I follow on personally, like AMC Movie News, all that stuff on YouTube, they loved it. Which makes me think, I don't know why the people hated it so much.
I have no idea.
As like, you introduced me to Paul Rudd, so I have so much respect for the man. Yeah. When he got announced, like, I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, Marvel did another perfect casting call. Like, this movie, even if it's crap, it's still gonna be funny.
Yeah, Paul Rudd's my second favorite comedian actor next to Will Ferrell.
I completely agree. I think he's probably my first because you like Will Ferrell a little more. But I'm so freaking excited for this. This is going to be amazing. That's all I got to say. Marvel all the way.
Yeah, 100%.
What do we got next?
This is
Magic Mike XXL.
This is not a movie that a lot of people probably have penned in, but it comes out the same day as Ant-Man. I like, this is probably a movie I would wait to see until it comes on DVD, but it looks really good, and that's Trainwreck. It's a comedy with Amy Schumer.
You know what I think? If you're down, we could probably see like a week after or something. Because I don't think anything's coming out for a while after that.
Yeah.
I heard really good things.
It looks really funny.
Amy Schumer, is that her name?
Amy Schumer.
I think she's one of the best like female comedians I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's crazy for me because she started on Last Comic Standing. And I was just like, and like I seen her how she like started, and
that's crazy, man.
It's crazy to see her grow like.
I think I have a problem with female comedians. I have a really bad problem because they tend to be really vulgar and it's more vulgar things than funny. Like she's perfect.
Yeah,
she knows what's funny. She pokes fun of herself. She knows what resonates with people, which I think. It's really hard, especially for a female comedian. I think she's gonna kill this. I think she's gonna be like the next Tina Fey, Amy Poehler.
Yeah, like everything I've seen from this movie just looks hilarious. Like the scene with her dad when she's a kid and he's explaining.
It's Judd Apatow, right? That's directing.
I believe so, but you can't go wrong with Judd Apatow.
Oh my god, he's done amazing.
His bad movies aren't bad. They're good. Like
even if they're bad, they're funny.
Yeah,
it's Judd Apatow.
And like the scene with the dad explaining to his two daughters, one of them Amy Schumer, that how they don't like how if they couldn't get a bunch of different dolls every year and stuff for like Christmas and stuff, and how that's the same thing.
I have a feeling that scene's going to be like
getting his divorce.
I have a feeling that scene's going to be like 2 or 3 minutes, and it's going to be something really crazy and vulgar.
Yeah,
and it's going to like scar them for life or something.
And like every scene with LeBron James in it looks so freaking funny. My man got down with sexual intercourse. It just looks so.
His voice sounds really high.
Yeah.
Usually he has a really deep. I swear to God, like Judd Apatow must have talked to him or something.
Yeah. The week after that,
Bill Hader, right? Sorry.
Yeah, Bill Hader. You can't go wrong with him. He's hilarious.
Funny stuff.
Is that?
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. Sorry.
No. The week after that, a movie that I think, honestly, it's on the. I'm on the fence with it. It could be. I don't think it's going to be, like, amazing or anything. I think it's either going to be good or really bad. It's Pixels.
You know what? I'm still going to see that because a lot of those video games resonate with everyone.
Yeah.
And it has Peter Dinklage in it. You can't go wrong with Peter Dinklage.
And I really, after watching The Wedding Ringer, I really love Josh Gad. Not Josh Groban.
Josh Groban.
The singer.
I was thinking about Kat Dennings. I'm sorry.
Josh Gad. Basically a chubby version of Josh Groban.
Kind of. If you had glasses or something. They kind of still like.
But yeah, it looks like some of the scenes look really funny. Like the creator of Pac-Man talking to Pac-Man.
My sweet little boy
bites his head. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! And like the scene where Josh Gad kills a Smurf. Don't tell anyone
that Smurf scene, I actually died laughing. That was so friggin' funny.
Yeah, and then there's some scenes that looks really stupid.
Looks like an Adam Sandler comedy.
Yeah.
They're really hit and miss.
Yeah, there's like Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 were decent, but like if they would have came out during his heyday, it would have been like, these movies are horrible. Yeah. But they came out during when all he had was horrible movies, so it's
people
like,
could say whatever they want about those movies. He still makes his money back.
100%.
They're really low budget, so even if people hate him, he still makes like hundreds of millions.
Yeah, I think the only movie that did bad was Jack and Jill.
Yeah. I'm sorry I made you guys watch.
It's okay. But like money-wise, even other bad movies that he's had, I think that's the only one that actually did bad.
Okay, guys, this is how stupid I am. One day we were all hanging out, and we're like going through all these movies that we want to see. Out of every suggestion that I could possibly think of, I'm like, hey guys, let's watch Jack and Jill. I don't know why I thought of that, but we watched like the first 10 minutes and it was just like the worst slapstick comedy you could ever see in your life.
The only funny, there's like the hobo.
The hobo was the only funny part.
He was hilarious. Like literally, it was like laughing. It was so bad that you would laugh at the hobo and just stop laughing because everything else was so bad.
It's like hitting a wall.
Yeah, but also coming out that day, Southpaw.
Oh, we gotta see that.
Oh my god, that movie looks so freaking good.
The soundtrack just got released too. That looks amazing.
It's an amazing soundtrack, and I was so hype for the most random song, The Weeknd, Wicked Games. That's my favorite Weeknd song of all time. I don't even care if it got mainstream because of the radio.
I hate that freaking thing. It was like, oh, it's too mainstream for me. I was like, I don't care. Shut up.
Yeah, I don't. It's my favorite Weeknd song of all time. I listened to it 8 million times before it even touched the radio. So
shout out to Brody who's not here. He introduced us to The Weeknd.
Yeah.
He introduced us to J. Cole, Drake. Brody, he should be a talent scout because he knows his stuff.
He knows Kendrick.
I was so happy when he introduced me to Kendrick. And then I introduced myself to Absol, J-Rock. I knew about J-Rock before and then Schoolboy Q. You know what? We should have a podcast about music one day.
Yeah, definitely. Hip-hop music.
Hip-hop specifically. Yeah. I don't really listen to anything else a lot. I used to listen to like pop music, but kind of died out on me because I started to notice a lot of stuff sounds
generic.
Similar. Yeah.
Week after that, Vacation, which looks so freaking funny. We've talked about it before.
Oh yeah.
Ed Helms just looks perfect.
Ed Helms, I think, is gonna win over audiences finally.
Yeah. Other than like Hangover, no one really talks about Ed Helms.
He's really we talked about it before. He's freaking underrated. Like I like the roles he's starting to pick now.
Then I don't know exactly how long that is, but August 7th, Fantastic Four.
Oh, you forgot about Mission Impossible. Comes out end of July.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see it on. Oh yeah, never mind. It looked weird. It didn't look like Mission Impossible. But yeah, that looks amazing.
Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. I just finished all the movies. I like love the first one. I didn't like the second one. Third one was okay. Fourth one was, I think, my favorite. I agree with you. It was amazing. I can't wait for the fifth one.
So yours 4, 1, 3, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
I'm so excited. It's like the trailer's okay. The thing that bought me about the entire thing was that plane scene.
Yeah.
I would never have... He's 50-something. I would never have the balls to hang off that airplane. And having Jeremy Renner back, which is like, I think one of the highlights of the last movie, and Simon Pegg back, just, I can't wait. Tom Cruise is having another career resurgence.
100%?
Yeah.
Nothing more I can say. Fantastic Four, week after that. I'm hype.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of trailer spots. They're revealing the powers finally. I'm already sold on this movie.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like it's going to be better than the original.
No matter what, even if it's crap, it's still better than... whatever that was before.
Oh god. This is one of those ones. Is like I want to see it, but I have a feeling it might, because like where we are, like if you're not from the area that we live in, there's obviously people that know us that listen to our podcast and that, but if you don't know area, sometimes there's movies that are popular, but we still don't get them in our area. And Straight Outta Compton, that looks really good. But I have a feeling it's not going to make it to our theater.
No.
But if it does, I'm definitely
we'll just see it on demand or something.
And my Cineplex app only goes up to August 14th. That's all I have.
Oh, that's fine. That goes for the summer movies.
If there's anything after August that you guys know of, like the end of August. Like I would say the September 1st is when summer stops for me. I know it's not.
I agree. Like very end of August.
Yeah, if there's any of the last 2 weeks of August, just let us know in the comments, and Mickey will reply as the three. Like if you're doing this on YouTube, Mickey will reply as the YouTube channel. I will reply as my YouTube 93B Rice, and we'll just talk about it there.
What else can we talk about?
We can talk about. We're gonna watch the second episode of Ballers after there's going to talk about the first episode. Yeah. It's getting a lot of, like, not hate, but just like, it's okay. I think it's so good.
We saw a review, and people are saying that, like, the premise makes no sense. But then it's like, that's the entire series. It's like, he's basically
a retired football player.
He's a retired football player, but he kind of manages the money. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's a financial advisor now.
Yeah. It's like, what else? You have to go off of that.
Yeah, and it's just like I am someone, I follow NFL is my favorite sport. I follow it. Like, NFL Super Bowl, like, everyone knows the Super Bowl. It's the second week of February.
Even if you're not a fan of football, you just watch it because it's awesome.
So the second week of February is the last day of the NFL. For me, there is no last day of NFL. I follow it the day after the Super Bowl to the day the season starts, and just over and over and over. And it is exactly to a T the NFL. It is exactly what the NFL is. I'm so happy they actually got the NFL in it. They got NFL players. They got the NFL teams. They one thing I found out, a former football player retired at like 30, and people are like, why are you retiring so early? You made money, but blah blah. He's actually a writer on the show. I'm like, that's crazy. So like, he knows exactly what it's like, and like,
that's awesome.
And like, people just don't get it. Like, IGN, I like IGN, but they're sometimes really stupid with their reviews, especially when it comes to TV and movies. I think video games, there's sometimes they get it wrong, but a lot of the time they get it right.
I'm not gonna have any comments on IGN just in case. It'd be sick to work for them, but whatever.
I respect them. I don't.
With all due respect, I have a feeling their reviews are really, I don't know, they're not really consistent because they have a lot of people working for them, and different people have different tastes and different backgrounds. So it's like sometimes they get things way wrong, and I think that's something. Especially this series.
Yeah, they said it was trying to be a football version of Entourage, which is not true at all. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't seem like it at all. It is just exactly what the NFL is like. The first episode, spoilers if you haven't seen it, go check it out. This player who's really good friends with The Rock, he has sex with this girl in the club bathroom. He gets out. This guy's like, wait, I know who you are. You're a football player, blah, blah, blah.
Being conniving dick that he is.
Yeah, and he entices him to punch him in the face so he can sue him.
Yeah.
And doing that, he gets in trouble, obviously.
Yeah.
And he contacts the team he plays for, the Green Bay Packers at the time. And he says, you know what? I messed up. I promise you guys it's not going to happen again. I'm dedicated to this team. Please keep me. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. It'll never happen again. And the owner's like, thank you so much. This means so much that you called. We'll take that into consideration. Hangs up. The owner goes, cut him. And that's exactly how the NFL is like. The only people that care in the process of players is the coaches. Yeah. The managers, the owners.
Because look at it this way. We've even talked about it. What would you rather have? Pay a guy $6 million or pay a rookie $100,000 that's maybe a little bit better than the other player?
Yeah, and has like maybe not even better.
That way they could spend more.
That's good, and it has the potential.
They could spend more money for more players.
Yeah,
that's the way the business works.
All it is winning Super Bowls.
Yeah,
winning Super Bowls gets you the most money, and having a player like that is just distraction to the team psyche. To win a Super Bowl.
It's really bad publicity on them too. Because then they have that bad player that does all that stupid stuff.
Yep, and it's especially now with the NFL.
You know what? I'm so glad The Rock is finally realizing that TV is like the new
the way to go
thing. Just because he's a really busy guy. I was surprised he had the time. This is probably 10 episodes if even.
I think 8 like True Detective. Yeah.
I'm excited for this, man.
Yeah. It was a phenomenal first episode, and just in the ending when the player ends up getting a signing with the Miami Dolphins, which is where he lives, where the show is set. Just kind of,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it works perfectly, and he basically gets that job because of The Rock and a former player that is now working at a Chevy dealership because he needs money. And
this is really funny how
they got the job really funny how it all worked out. But he basically got the job because of those two guys, The Rock and the former football player. And then so he's like, I owe you to The Rock. So he hires him as his financial manager. Yeah. And they're talking about it on the phone. And as he's doing that, The Rock's taking out money, and he sees he has nothing because
he's on a date with his whatever significant other, and he's trying to take out money out of the ATM, and he's completely broke.
And I think that stems from something else in the episode where a player that he financially advises asks to borrow $300,000, and
he doesn't have that money.
Yeah, and he gave him a check. It's
gonna bounce.
Yeah, and he's like, it's either like I think there's two ways it could go. It's either gonna bounce or that's all the money he had, and that's what happened. And you clearly see throughout that interaction with them, I think there's 2 or 3 scenes. Yeah. There's definitely 2. There might be a third scene. But that guy does not deserve the money. He doesn't care about The Rock. The Rock should never give him that money. He's not going to see that money again. Yeah, and he just... Because he has an interaction with his former agent. Yeah. And it was just like his former agent was so nice to him that he was just like, I gotta be like that to other people. And that's not how the world works.
But yeah, if you guys haven't heard of the show, it's called Ballers. Check it out. It's on HBO.
It airs right after True Detective. It's only half an hour. Really great show.
Yeah, it's really good. Let's talk about that law going on in the U.S. finally, that everyone is able to get married with each other.
It's fantastic.
You know what?
About time.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit about like some personal with you guys. I used to be a homophobe for no apparent reason. I don't know.
I think it's just
it's fear because you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't know.
It was for no reason. I didn't have any gay friends. I'm just like, gay is bad. I used to be really religious. Yeah. And then as I got older, I started to realize, and I've been through some stuff. You start realizing after all the injustices I've been through is like, why am I like this to people like this? Everyone should be okay. Like, you're not like, you're born this way. Yeah. You can't choose it. Like, I don't understand why people still have this stigma. And I saw some people going at it on Twitter, and some people I know, and some people you know, and I don't understand what the problem is. It's like, if everyone's happy, then it shouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah, it's just I honestly think if you're a human being, you should be allowed every option that every human has. Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
It shouldn't be limited to just one fucking
male, female. Yeah. Something to lighten that mood. I seen this thing, and it was like the information on who can get married now. Yeah. And it was on Jimmy Fallon, and it was like a bunch of them. And then one of the groups was Chinese. It was like Chinese people can finally get married. They weren't allowed to before. I found that really funny. But one thing I think they really messed up with this whole process of announcing it was they released who voted yes and who voted no. And I think that's just so wrong because
they're legally allowed to do that.
That's why I was like, I don't know how they did that. It's just like, because it was a close vote. It was 5-4. And
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't, obviously.
They shouldn't have released that. Especially on a high note like that.
It's just like, it looks so bad on the 4 people, and it's just like, though I completely disagree with those 4 people. That's the faming
kind of, man. Like, why would you do that?
It's just, that's their opinion. You can't let that, like, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares
like, even
who
as
voted
I speak
yes or no?
Even as I've spoken and said my spiel, there's still going to be haters.
Yeah, it's just like, who cares? Who cares who voted yes and no? Yeah. It's passed. Yeah. If it was like 8-1 no, and it was just like, okay, these are people that voted no, it kind of would have made more sense because it's just like, okay, how can we get across to these people that it is the right thing to do? But it's just like, no, it doesn't matter. It's passed.
It's just to poke fun at those people. Anyways, did you see that the Kylie Jenner tweet? There's like someone responding.
No, I didn't.
It was like, oh, yay, equality, everything. And then someone commented, they're like, yeah, but yours is still illegal. Talking about the Tiger. Oh my god.
She's dating someone a lot older than her. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's really funny.
I saw that. I was like, oh, that's perfect. But yeah, equality. I'm so happy. Yeah. Like, finally.
I know.
Well, like Canada has it. Why can't the U.S. have it?
Yeah, a lot of funny things is I've seen a lot of people tweeting. I don't know if they were trolling or they're just really ignorant. They're like, fuck this shit, I'm moving to Canada. And it's like, dumbass, we've had it a lot longer.
We've had it for a long time.
And, it's a great thing. And just
I'm happy. Like, that's
there's
awesome.
still people that don't get it.
Yeah, they're just haters. And it's just they'll eventually resist. And
it's like, I see stuff on Facebook and stuff where people talking about it and they get into arguments and I want to.
That's the worst That's the worst place to actually say something. I've seen people post statuses like, this isn't right. I'm like, you just made the biggest mistake of your life on a day like this.
Like, the place you post that, if you really want to and you have no aspiration of, like, honestly, if you post stuff like that, you have no aspiration of living in a mediocre life. Because with Twitter and that now, and Facebook, you have to watch what you say, and you have to, like, if you want to get into any type of media, anything like that, you can't say anything.
No.
But if you're going to do that, do it on Twitter, because
it's not really, like,
it's limited to the people that follow you. Yeah. And, like, what I like about Twitter is, for me, I only see the people that don't follow me that tweet to me on my phone. Like, if I'm on a computer, I can't see anyone. So it's just like, not everyone has Twitter on their phone. Yeah. They can be like, fuck gay people. I don't agree with this on Twitter. And the only people they can see that, have a discussion, argument with,
is
the people that follow them. Facebook.
People go at you, man.
People go at you, and then their friends see it, and they go at you.
They're ruthless. They'll see it on their timeline and be like, oh, I'm not having this stuff.
And I've wanted to do it several times during this discussion, and then I'm just like, there's no point. They don't get it.
It's not worth it. It's just ignorance.
Yeah.
People are people. Like, you can't change people.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our thoughts on that. We're just really happy.
Fantastic. Yeah. Next time Brody's on, if he comes on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending if
he's free or not.
Yeah. Me and him can really get into talking about the next UFC that's coming out, because it's a big one. Yeah. It's a big one. So we could really get into that.
Yeah.
But right now, just me talking about it, I think I would rather save my discussion for with Brody.
But yeah, we could talk about the future podcast. So we'll be seeing TED 2 on Tuesday. And we'll be talking about our favorite video games.
I made my list. You said top 5, but I have a lot. I have like a top 10 with honorable mention.
We're not even going to do top 10. We'll just say our favorite video games. That way it's easier, and then...
Yeah, I did a lot of research the other day.
Okay. And then on Wednesday, we're going to see Terminator Genesis, have our special guest on, Connor Smiley, and then we'll talk about... We're not just limited to movies. We can do TV shows too, because there's a lot of cartoons and stuff we used to watch, like Digimon and stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And I think, if you don't mind, we just end it there.
Yeah. Thanks, good.
This has been 3 Guys Minus 1 in the Basement. I'm Makiko Kanovic.
I'm Brandon Rice.
And until next time.
Peace!